Hello, Facebook. Hello, everyone. I am so privileged. We are both privileged.
We are both privileged.
Yeah, but I'm definitely privileged to be here with my friend, but with a world-known, best-selling author, Tony J. Selimi.
Selimi.
Indeed, I
is
pronounce
Selimi.
it good. And we are very, very privileged to have a short and sweet start for April, for the spring, and for Monday, for a great week. But coincidence, that's what I love about life. Spontaneous. We were spontaneous, effortless. Hello, no, I cannot right now accept anyone. Sorry, there will be a little bit of movement. But I met this gorgeous friend. I think it's a few years ago. Can you remind me when that was?
2014 April.
That was his bestseller. He asked me to come and sing in his lounge.
Yes.
Beauty of the duty. The only thing that holds you back is you.
And you.
And you.
And you.
And then
and
you
you.
need to take someone to take that blockage. Anyway, so I met him and I said, right, let's meet up. We haven't met since Christmas. Let's do something for the spring. You know, it's all about new beginning, cleaning. And then he showed me that in the same book, that's where I met him, he's got the chapter, Spring Clean
Your Mind.
And he said that the way you look at life determines your experience of it. What you become is what you think you are. Tony J. Selimi. And what is my song? It's you become who you are, who you are, who you are. So that's a coincidence. So we're going to talk about that and just give you a boost, a wonderful. But would you like to introduce me to your lovely audience?
So guys, by the way, just so you know, the reason we're not looking at every phone, because we have 3 phones, we're streaming across 3 different platforms. So we have Tally's platforms, my platforms, so more of you get inspired. So to all my audience out there, let me introduce you to lovely Tally Koren.
Thank you.
Singer, songwriter, but not just that. Recently she topped the charts with her latest song, and it's what an achievement. And I wanted to share her achievement with you, basically about the song, about the album, what inspired her. She is about to release a new album. We're not going to say much about it, but we can tease you guys. So Tally, tell us more about, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondly, to all of you guys, Tally's audience, my audience, we absolutely love you and adore you. A lot of you have sent me messages, and I believe Tally as well, from our last video that we did.
Yeah.
And they said, oh my gosh, your energies is very compatible. Now, I want to talk not just about that, but also, as you noticed when Tally started this broadcast, being perfectionist, it's actually good, but also can hinder you. But when you're with the right person, you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So now, Tally, please introduce yourself to our audience with your song, and, you know, what did you have to do to make that happen?
So my song is really based on a very famous quote. Watch your thought, they become words. Watch your words, they become action. Watch your action, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it's become your destiny. It becomes who you are. No one knows who wrote it, if it's Buddha, Lhasa, but I found it, and my strength is really take words and compose them. And if words are good, the melody just comes very naturally. So the moment that I wrote it, everyone who heard it, even when I play it on piano, said, Tally, you've got a hit, you've got a hit, you've got a hit. Right, thank you, I've got a hit, but I don't have the budget of Taylor Swift or Sam Smith, but I had the determination. I had the thought, watch your thought. And I knew that I'm against the biggest names in the world, but I knew that I'm not going to hold myself back because I've done enough work with people like yourself, with book Like all these books that we're going to talk about, I've done so much work. I'm going for it. All the time people are coming here, so I'm declining them, so sorry. So what happened is, my goal was to be in the chart, official chart. And I asked all my friends to download the single, and it was very easy. I was able to be in the official chart, which would change my life and many millions. But because we're in the generation of streaming, people don't download. So people didn't download it. They didn't listen to my instructions, or maybe my instructions were not clear. And that showed me one lesson. And you're doing it. And Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, all of them, nudge, nudge, and nudge. What do I mean by that? If I wanted my closest fans and friends only to download for £7 my new bundle, they would have done it. But I didn't nudge. I was not clear. So I did have 4,000 streaming on that day, but I didn't achieve then the chart. I was a little bit disappointed, but I said, why should I be disappointed? Let's learn from the mistake and let's do it better. And because I let go and I was still focusing my mind, I'm in the chart. One day I got from Tracy Webb, she's #1 promoter of clubs, dance, Ed Sheeran, David Guetta, all the top people. She said, Tally, you're in the dance chart of the Music Week. It's called the commercial chart. You're number 29. I said, oh, wow, that's fantastic. Next week, 27. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Then I go to number 10, near Taylor Swift, near Sam Smith, near Pink. I made it. So I'm very proud, very happy. It's dance remixes, but I want to ask you, or maybe you can talk about it, and I'm sure you wrote about it and you have so much wisdom, how important it is to be so precise of what we want when we want to manifest the best reality.
Well, we go back to the what we are talking about in this broadcast, which is spring clean your mind.
Yes.
And as I said it on my Facebook, guys, so you can by all means go and follow me and you'll see it in there. There are two things that truly change our lives: music and books. And at the lowest when we turned on to music, or we turn on to some inspirational books. So that's why Tally and I got together today. But as part of that, when you focus your mind, and we all have the third eye, okay? So when we start seeing things in our mind's eye, when every single day we focus our actions and our priorities towards one single thing, sooner or later, the mirror of the universe will mirror back at you exactly the vibration you send out. But that also helps. Yesterday I was working with a client from oil and gas industry about miracle manifestation formula, which I talk about in all of my books, and they all have a specific formula in there. But in Path to Wisdom, the last principle is miracle manifestation. So to manifest miracles, first and foremost, it's what you think, what you say, the sentences you structure, and what you feel about all of those things. So this is like when you think about you, so you went through all of those thoughts and everything else, you addressed, yes, you may have done something, you could have done something better. Yeah. But you didn't stop. It didn't stop you. You continued with the action. Exactly. And this is where people fail. Exactly. Where basically they don't follow up. They get discouraged, disheartened when they don't see the results they expect. Exactly. And then another word that you mentioned, it's about letting go.
Letting go and surrendering. Okay. Yes, and talk about it. Talk about I'm exactly there now. I'm exactly there, polishing it.
So, Tally has known me from, 9 years now. Yeah, since 2014. And my career, my work, my books have gone global. And I work with some of the amazing people out there on different projects. And I had to let go on so many levels in my life. And both were migrants in this country. So we both had to let go our own countries to start with.
Yeah.
Our own families. Okay? And most people think that people who do migrate, and we have this issue now going on in our country.
Yeah.
What people don't realize that we all are migrants in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're fleeing from our home, whether we're fleeing from our family, whether our soul comes from one reality to this reality, we pretty much are beings of migration.
Right.
So, as part of that, if we hold on to all the attachments from wherever we're coming from, it'll be very difficult for you to move on and create new dreams. So this is where letting go, it's amazing. Meaning, you're actually not letting go your being, you're letting go those emotional and attachment to experiences from the past. But also, when you do actions, this is the important part.
Sorry, I think I didn't. Did I press live?
We don't know, but press it again.
I'll press it again. My stuff. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. No, finish that. It's just technical.
So when we do action. Most people have expectations of what those actions will bring them. And this is where also people create blockages. Because they have a need and expectations attached to what they do.
Yeah.
But when you do something that you love, there's no expectations or attachment. This is the true meaning of let go. Meaning you're doing it from the heart, from your heart. You're doing it because you love doing it. You're doing it because whatever you are doing, you trust and you know and you're certain it's going to make a big difference, whether you see the results or not.
Yeah.
Meaning even if one person benefited from whatever you do, you've actually done an incredible job.
Yes.
But we tend, because of those expectations from the outer reality, we expect to have those big things.
Yeah. And the ego.
And yes, I mean, there's a healthy and destructive ego in there. But when we truly let go and we actually let in all this new energy, all these new opportunities, all these new people which are more aligned to your vibrational state in that moment in time. Because our vibrations keep changing every single day. When we have troubles, our vibration will go down. So therefore, if we are working on a project, we're actually interrupting the signal we're sending to the universe. And this is the important part, is that instead of you giving in to those disempowered states, you go back and say, why am I doing what I'm doing? So why do I want my song or my books or your work out there to go out there to millions and billions of people? And usually, if you simplify all of that, you will get a very clear answer. And if you do it properly, this process, I guarantee you use the words because I love what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we go through so much. I mean, even if people would see what we go through before going live here, we almost broke all this beautiful. We're still not live on the. As much as I'm pressing it, it's checking connection, saying
Did you connect
you're unable to.
I don't think we connected this one. We only connected one of them.
Yeah. It's not showing.
Is this on your phone?
It's phone, but there is something with Instagram. It's saying here, but it's saying unless you update the latest version of Instagram.
All right.
So
okay.
sorry.
You can,
see?
if you want, you can update it and I'll talk.
You talk.
We'll talk.
Okay, you talk.
So,
I'll do that.
So, if you have a big vision, whether it's bringing your music, your artistry, whether you want to be a coach, consultant, or you have an idea you want to patent and bring it into this world, the first step is truly transforming your psychology and transforming your mindset. What I mean by that, it's sort of to create the results that you want, you must have the psychology that gives you the results. And when you align those two things, meaning you're aligning your inner desires with your outer outcomes. And this is where it's difficult for most people. Why? Because psychology is extremely complex. And also your mind and your behaviors, your values, your beliefs, your culture, everything you've received from society will either help you towards the next step or will hold you back to where you are. So, and having gone through this journey for the last 3 decades, one thing I always loved doing is continuously research the best tools out there. And also something that Tally knows and most of my clients know, I love combining spirituality and science. And I wanted to become good at both sides because, people need their spiritual growth and your soul wants to grow. It wants from you to be the best version of you can be in this world.
Yeah.
And also it wants to fulfill so many voids you might be experiencing in your life. And one thing that stops people is those different emotional states they kick in when things don't go according to what you expect them to be.
Yeah, that's.
And this is almost like a hammer that kicks in your most expensive vase, for instance, and breaks it into pieces, and then you end up grieving about it, which then it lowers your vibration and it puts a stop to the dream you worked very hard to work.
Yeah.
But bypassing that, going back into what matters and following by daily actions, you start bringing that energy, that resonance, that vibration that gives you back exactly what you want.
Absolutely. And how we get into that, I like to know, I know this book was really, really successful, and I've got here Brian Tracy saying this is inspiring, enjoyable, fast-moving book that shows you how to unlock your full power for unlimited success. Brian Tracy, which, was the first motivational coach that I've been listening in my journey. So what do you do if you continue not to fail, because I don't like to see even that, I don't like to use even the word fail, not achieving the goal that you want, because of many reasons: wrong place, wrong team, wrong. How do we find the resources? I mean, this podcast is about the spring, and what I love about the spring and the spring cleaning, like the title, that as much of a flat can be dirty, you can always clean place, you can always paint it and make it new. So that's
something new energy.
New energy. Yeah. So can you talk about it more in real life while I'm updating this?
Absolutely. So most people, at the end of the year, they put New Year's Eve and New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
And what happens is January comes, February, and they're forgotten by March.
Exactly.
According to Stanford University, I think almost 95% of those dreams that people have around the world get killed. So, most people kill their dreams. And when you think about it, I'm killing my dreams. I mean, it's really powerful to come to that realization that you yourself can do so much more than what you're doing right now. And whether you are in your business, whether you're in your home, whether you are in your office, whether you're in your marriage with your partner, with your children, with your people socially, a friend, or in your communities or in the government, every single day, if you did 3 actions, by the end of the year, those are 1,000+ more actions you've completed and done. But sometimes I see people want the big things without actually breaking down the single steps how to get there. And then, there's that old saying, don't eat more than you can chew.
It's a very good, yes.
So I get people saying, oh, I want to inspire 100 million people. And then I ask them the question, so how many do you have on your list? Oh, I have 10. Okay? So, so you want 100 million people, but you haven't even inspired 100, 500, 1,000, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000.
Yeah.
So, the world, it's pretty much, even success has its own mathematical formula. That's why I love studying maths.
Yes.
And science and engineering. And if we go against those laws, universal laws that govern life, not just me and you, life itself, you will bound to come across challenges, difficulties, barriers, and life events that discourage you. Why they discourage you? For you to go back into the drawing board, for you to go back to learning, studying, and then answering the questions that can help you break through those inner barriers.
Right.
Because, when I found myself homeless, okay, and then I look at my outer reality, well, if homelessness was an issue, then it would be for everybody.
Right.
So clearly it's something to do with me. And then I had to take 100% charge of my reality. Despite of what my mind chatter would say, the war, coming in here, not speaking the language, not knowing people, not having my refugee status sorted. All of the excuses that you can come up when you don't have nothing.
Yeah.
But in reality, there is so much possibilities and choices out there. In hindsight, when I look back, one thing I consistently did, I gave service. So to link the question you asked earlier when it comes to resources, if you find yourself with limited resources, what you need to focus in, grow your service.
Beautiful. Grow your service. Beautiful. I think this is really summarized. Shall we just end because Instagram is not...
it's not doing it.
No, but we have 2 minutes. Shall we finish with the song?
Absolutely.
So
Bring up the song in here.
just stop for a second more.
So it is the reason why basically all of my books, starting with Path to Wisdom, then #loneliness, then The Unfakeable Code, which is about living authentically, leading authentically, and loving authentically. And then the latest book, A Path to Excellence. And by the way, those books are Book of the Month this year in April. They start in 1st of April. They're being promoted globally. So a lot of people are downloading those too. And to help as many of you, I've reduced the price of the book to $2.99 from the Kindle version of it. So most people nowadays got the Kindle. So check them out, use them, and create a plan.
Can become. They become. Was that the extended version? We're going to stay here for all... Yeah, that's too long. Let's go for a shorter one.
That was a teaser.
What's your thought? They become words. They become your actions. They become habits. They become who you are. 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 Watch your habit, they become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. It becomes who you are. 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 Thank you so much for watching, for joining. Thank you.
And big hug to you guys.
Big hug. Big love hug
from
to you.
Us to you.
And really take every word here of what Tony said.
And every song she's written, listen. Because the words help you become who you are.
Exactly, and that's the most important, and just to summarize one little thing you said, that if you don't have resources, do service. So it's to find that unique place, because each one of you has something unique to give.
Absolutely.
Because it's who you are.
It's who you are.
Who you are. Bye everyone.
Bye guys.
Sorry for the complication. Bye.